But some people succumb to it before they ever had any inkling that they were battling it. They had already claimed it, and then they were looking for it to get them. And that's when they ain't clapping. That's when they ain't moving, because they have something. But if the truth be told, they looked for it to get them. They kept waiting for it to show up. And now they're battling with something that, if the truth be told, they sat in a lazy boy chair waiting on it to come.
Thank you, Jesus. Hey, and let God. You gotta and let God. Don't worry about it. And let God. Cast your burden and let God. Let God do it. Let God do it. Let God do it. Let God do it. Don't worry about it. You gotta let him do it. Don't cry about it. You gotta let him do it. While you're staying up all night. While you're worried about it, you can't work it out. Let God do it. Let God do it.
Notice Philippians 4 and 8, Paul writes to the church at Philippi. He says in verse 8, finally, brethren, whatever things are true, whatever things are noble, whatever things are just, whatever things are pure, whatever things are lovely, whatever things are of good report, if there is any virtue, and if there is anything praiseworthy, meditate on these things. Awesome assignment Paul had to tell the brethren how they needed to think. Awesome assignment I have this morning to tell the brethren how they should think. Because he gets really specific in what the brethren need to think on. Now, I'm primarily concerned with the latter clause when Paul said, whatever things are of good report. And then we can drop and just say, meditate on this. We wouldn't be wrong to do that. So based upon that, look at a neighbor and tell your neighbor the subject this morning, meditating on good reports. Look at somebody else and say the subject this morning, meditating on good reports. And let's give God a praise for the subject, if y'all don't mind. Meditating on good reports. So we're going to deal this morning with how we think. We're going to deal with how we think. And I pray as a brethren or Christian, because the word brethren is a church term, which again equates a Christian or a believer. And I hope that we understand that if we are going to think the way that we need to think, we have to be taught how to think. We have to be taught. I think I got 4 amens. That's what I heard. We have to be taught how to think. Because some of us, our thinking is off. It's off. And it may be because we've never been taught. And if you, from just a natural standpoint, ever want to start an argument with a person who loves being argumentative, then tell them how they need to think. Oh, Lord have mercy. I got some smiles out of some of you there. Tell them how they need to think. And if they love to argue, then you got yourself a good one. Because they don't want nobody telling them how to think. Oh, Lord have mercy. This is evident with young people who definitely need to be trained how to think, yet even some young folk don't want older folk who are proven to tell them how to think. Oh, Lord, some of us married folk who have wisdom that is higher in certain areas than our spouse may have dealt with a spouse who didn't want you telling them how to think. Ooh, God, it's gonna get tight up in here. Some folk don't like you getting in their head. Especially when you tell them how they're thinking and they say stuff like, who you supposed to be? You can't read my mind. But you can read a person's mind. Because Jesus said, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth, what? Speak. So I know your mindset by how you talk. Don't tell me I don't know how you're thinking. I just got to listen to how you're talking. I have to look at the choices that you're making. Because if I look at the choices you're making, then it tells me what you're thinking. Is that right? But now before I go further, just to prove that I'm not wrong, how many have ever got an attitude with somebody in time past, because they were trying to tell you how you needed to think, and you didn't like that? Amen. Look around so y'all know I'm on it this morning, or God is on it, hands down. But see, that's my job this morning. Before I go forward, you got to understand, that's my job. My job is to tell you how to think, or to teach you how to think. Now, this is the interesting thing. Some of you are 20 years older than me. But I got to stand here and tell you how to think. And you may be looking at me like, I'm at least 20 years older than he is. But it's the position. It's the calling. It's the gift. He don't know what I know. I may not know some things that you know, but I'm charged this morning to teach all of us how to think. Because when you deal with the word meditate, it simply means thinking. But I want to give you a couple of things that it represents this morning. Meditation deals, first of all, with focus thinking. Focus thinking. Focus thinking. Not just thinking a thing just to be doing it, but that's what I'm focusing on. It is also fixed thinking. Meditating is fixed thinking. Got some negative news, but now I have to fix my mind to think a certain way in reference to the news that I just got. Because, see, you either ignorant or you foolish if you think every report that you get is going to be good. If you think that everything is going to go your way because you come to church, again, you're one or two things. You're ignorant or you're foolish. Right? And is that right? And so I got to get control of my thinking. And my thinking has to, again, be fixed thinking. I'm actually choosing what to set my mind on. Somebody said something that I didn't like. I don't even know why they said what they said, but I'm not going to let my mind get carried away into wondering why they said what they said. I'm going to go ahead and fix my mind to think a certain way, regardless of what somebody may have said to me. I got to have fixed thinking. Fixed thinking also is purposeful thinking. In other words, if you think right, it's not by accident. It's not by accident. Some of us should have said amen to that. I said when you got the right type thinking, it's not by accident. It's actually because of training. Look at somebody and say, the same way you train your body, you can train your mind. Pastor, I can't help but just thinking for hours on certain things. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You just have to train your mind. You have to train your mind. And finally, it is disciplined thinking. As Christians, we got to be disciplined in our thinking. Again, that's training. And based upon how some of us think, we actually got to go to boot camp. Yeah, I mean, we got to go to boot camp. We got to get down. We got to roll up the sleeves and because some of us got some jacked up thinking. And I love hearing folks say different stuff, and then I always ask them, and it always seems to shock them. I say, why you say that? What you mean why? I say, why you say that? Why you think that way? Why you feel that way? Because your feeling also represents your thinking. Why you feel that way? Why just don't feel like it's going to work out? Why you got that feeling? Why you have that feeling that it ain't going to work? Because, see, the same feeling that you have that it ain't going to work, if you train your mind, you can have the same feeling, but it'd be the opposite. It'd be, oh, it's going to work. Oh, it's getting better. See, even a while ago, some of us didn't have the right thinking because we couldn't even prophesy to somebody else, yet alone ourselves, that it is getting better. Because in our mind, we were thinking, well, in order for that to happen, this got to happen, and then that, and then this got to line up, and then, oh, that ain't even to mention this right here going on. But see, you should have been able to train your mind, and sometimes you got to pull your mind back into focus because trouble will trouble your mind if you're not disciplined in your thinking. Even when you lay down to relax, you always have to train your mind. Though I'm stretching out to relax, I'm going to put my mind on what my mind need to be on so that I can rest properly. Oh, if I just teach it right, some of us don't even get proper rest because of bills, because of people, because of children. Imagine a parent not sleeping good because they worried about what a 20-year-old doing that they can no longer control. Now, they're out partying and then you tossing and turning. When you try to discipline them or tell them what they don't need to do, it's like they ain't got a care in the world, but you doing all the worrying because you ain't trained your mind. Wonder what that girl doing. God, I just hope she done made it home. She normally texts me. And until you get that text, that mind is just everywhere. Oh, Lord, boy, look at these mamas. Don't hear no siren. You like, Lord, have mercy. They got to be done made it by now. Oh, and I got to drop one on you. It sometimes don't get no better when they get married. Because then you wondering, Lord, hoping they ain't over there acting crazy. One of this a big fight or a little fight. One of this fight going to last a week or this fight going to be. See, because sometimes you rush things too fast when you're raising children. You tired of taking them places. Tired of getting up, having to go here, pick them back up here. And so you're rushing for them to get them license. Then when they get them license, you're like, I want them license back because I'm worried more. I wish I'd just drop you off. Now I got to worry about this. I never forget when our children were young. And Donna, we only had a certain amount of money, and we'd be on a tight budget. We could really work that budget when they were young because we already know what we're going to eat Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So our mind was kind of at risk because we got this little plan, and they really can't interrupt the plan unless we go in there and cook them something or fix them something. But then as they got older, they disrupt your plan because now they down there cooking on their own. Oh, God, and you go downstairs, and you like, who? What them 5 eggs? Oh, I got hungry. Messing up the plan. Now you're at work worrying like they better not touch that bologna. I know that is supper. See, no matter where you at, you got to train your mind to think right. Yeah, single woman, single brother, you got to train your mind to relax until God send the right one. Don't chase the wrong one because your mind ain't fixed. Because you'll get something. And you'll regret that your mind wasn't fixed. Because you're seeing things that you want to see, but they're not reality. He ain't changed, sister. He's still the same. Your mind is just, whoa, good God, somebody need it. See, if you ain't careful, your mind will play tricks on you. Pastor, I thought I saw change. No, you didn't, sister. You didn't see no change. So we as Christians have to see the importance of having a disciplined mind. Pull your mind in. No. Notice what Paul says real quick. Philippians 4 and 8. Latter clause. He said, if there is any virtue, the word virtue deals with strength. See, you got to fix your mind to think on things that's going to strengthen you. What's the antithesis? That which weakens. See, why set your mind on something that's going to cause you to be weak? But a lot of us do that. From Sunday to Sunday, we set our mind on things that weaken us. Things that cause us to be sad. You depressed because you set your mind on a thing that you knew in the end would depress you. I mean, meditating on something that you know is depressing you. And then not disciplining yourself to say, wait a minute. I'm going the opposite direction. I want to be happy today. Let me go ahead and change my mind. Let me go ahead and get my mind off of that. Because that's just weakening me. Woo-wee. See, you know, a lot of folks ain't clapping. They don't make the adjustment. It's simply an adjustment. It's not that pastor don't go through anything. It's not that I don't battle sometimes. I just make adjustments. And I know when I'm thinking certain ways that this ain't healthy. This ain't good for me. This ain't good for me. Because when you get that old jacked up thinking, you end up doing something jacked. Then got to turn around and explain your jacked up actions. Thank you on the left side. Finally got the middle side working. 4 things we don't want. Because again, Paul said if there's any virtue. So see, when you set your mind on something, then it becomes your responsibility with the help of the Holy Spirit to decide, is this got virtue in it? Is there any virtue in thinking like this? Before I continue, does this have any virtue in it? I hope she changed, but I don't think she gonna change. See, that may not have no virtue in it right there, because because at the end of the day, she gonna do what she want to do. But what we don't want, tell your neighbor, these are some things we don't want. Number one, we don't want to be weak-minded. If you weak-minded, things can break your mind. And if you got a broken mind, you got a broken spirit. Are we in the house? Because some of us, if we just get honest with it, we would have to say about you, you're a good brother, you're a good sister, you're just weak-minded. You know you're weak-minded when you walk in the room, and as soon as you walk in the room, 2 folks start laughing, and you think they're laughing at you. You know you weak-minded. You always cross the room. Look at them, they didn't laugh till I came in. I know they don't like me, but I want both of them to know I don't care. So you give them that little look like, think it bothered me? But see, the trick on you, because they weren't laughing at you. You just so weak-minded that you think everything is about. We can't laugh when you in the room, except we laugh with you. Well, you know so-and-so don't like me. Why you think they don't like you? I don't know. I just, you know, you can pick up on things. I'm picking up now. You're weak-minded. This woman done changed. She don't love me like she used to. Why you say that, brother? I don't know. I just seems like she always complaining now. Are they justified? Yeah, but I'm tired of hearing it, though. Brother, you know what you are? No, what? You weak-minded. You can't call a person a complainer if their complaints are justified. You ain't doing no change at all. I'm tired of all the complaining. You weak-minded. Look, we laughing, but I'm telling you, in the church sometimes, some of y'all make sinners wonder, why you that faithful in church and you that weak-minded? You got sinners who are your kinfolk who trying to encourage you when you should be encouraging them, but you so weak-minded that you complain to people who are not even saved. And then you tell them how big your God is. And they wonder if your God's so big, why you so weak-minded? And then you meet senior citizens who are weak-minded. And I'm like, you've been on this earth 60, 70, 80 years. Seems like even that in itself should cause you to be strong-minded. Especially, y'all, I ain't trying to be funny, especially black folk. And then y'all come through slavery. You know, when it was tough, you still weak. Used to be you could look at certain women and you knew, you're going to see a strong woman. Man, I see more weak-minded women now than. It's weak-minded. Don't even want to be better. You try to help a weak-minded woman and she think it's a competition. She's trying to compete with you. And the only thing you trying to do is help her. Now weak-minded folk know how to dress good. A weak-minded person put an outfit together. Hey, you look at them like, whoa. But the problem is up here. We don't want an idle mind. See, an idle mind is having an aimless mind. That means when your mind idle, you really don't know what you're going to be thinking about. And when you have an idle mind, you give space or place to the devil. What the scripture tells us, give no place to who? The devil. But when your mind idle, demons want to occupy that space and put thoughts in your mind and make you feel that those are your thoughts. This means some of us, we stay tormented because of thoughts that demons are trying to put in our minds, and we don't fight. See, if you have a battle in your body and you believe in for wholeness, and you ain't really disciplining your mind to think about your healing and your wholeness, a demon will remind you who died with what you battling with. You know, they didn't make it. Oh, and that demon, no, see, somebody know where I'm at. Now, them demons are good at that hereditary stuff. They work that to the bone right there. You hear me? Oh, and see, if you ain't got no disciplined mind, that hereditary stuff can be overwhelming when they break down where you know. And if they in church, they got to try to say it a certain way to clean it up. Now, I ain't trying to be negative. But you know that's the same thing your grandmama died with, and her mama too, and your aunt. We never did say that, but that's what your aunt was battling too. So we thinking that runs in the family. You know, when you go to them doctors, sometimes they want to know, like, what's your history? You know. That's why I be quick telling them. You do your family have a history? No. You got a history? No. Keep it going. Because if it is, it don't mean their history has to be my history. Well, I ain't clapping because that's all fine and well, pal, but I done seen it happen. Yeah, but some people succumb to it before they ever had any inkling that they were battling it. They had already claimed it, and then they were looking for it to get them. And that's when they ain't clapping. That's when they ain't moving, because they have something. But if the truth be told, they look for it to get them. They kept waiting for it to show up. They wouldn't be happy if you talked about it and said, that ain't going to get you. And now they're battling with something that, if the truth be told, they sat in a lazy boy chair waiting on it to come. And when they knocked at the door, they said, I've been waiting on you. That's reading my knee. I knew it. This knee ain't going to never be the same. Wait. And finally, as brethren, we don't need a sinner's mind, because in the church, some saints think like sinners, right? Some of you think that if it's going to work, you got to make it work. See, that's a sinner's mind. That's how some of us think, like, well, if it's going to work out, I got to make something happen. That's a sinner's mind. You ain't got to make nothing happen that God ain't ordained to happen. We only make happen what God ordains to happen. But I'm not out here trying to make happen what I know God has not ordained to take place in my life. I know how to pray for you. I know how to be happy for you about certain things, but I have just learned to get out of the mindset of I got to make it happen. Come on. Oh, I'm teaching right this morning. Because out of that mindset, you set yourself up for frustration. When it doesn't happen, you're tired, you're sick and tired, you're done with it. I quit, it's over, I did all I could do, I'm tired of trying. Yeah, that's your problem.
Thank you for watching A Word for Deliverance with Pastor Leonard Cochran of A Place of Refuge, Noonan. A Place of Refuge is located at 10 Fisher Alley in the city of Noonan, Georgia. If you would like to visit us, our worship times are every Sunday at 10:15 a.m. and Wednesdays at 7:15 p.m. To order today's message on CD, please call the church office at 770-252-3855 and reference the order number on the screen.